Hey guys, and welcome back to Austin After 40. It's been a minute, but I wanted to get this video out and let you guys know a new suit manufacturer has hit the US market. I have been working with them for 5 or 6 months. I have not been able to talk about it until now. They have really taken a lot of my input and really put a lot of what I wanted to see into the suits and what I wanted to see in the next generation of EMS suits to hit the market. And most of that is the ability to use the suit how you want to use the suit, not be tethered and locked into a certain way of working out that the EMS suit company or particular manufacturer wants you to do. The suit is called Titanbody. It is a direct-to-skin contact suit, and I'm super excited about it, as excited as I was when I first strapped on the first Katalyst suit workout. So let's get into it. And guys, I've got some updates you'll want to stay tuned for at the end of the video on Katalyst and on Visionbody. Not great news on either one of them. Stay tuned till the end of the video and I'll let you guys know about them. Full transparency, Titanbody did send me this suit for free to help with final product testing and also to go through the app and mess with it and see what I liked and didn't like and make some changes. Also, they gave me a 10% off coupon, which is Austin After 40. And I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can go check out the suit for yourself if you want. Okay, so for a direct-to-skin suit, you do need moisture to have the conductivity work from the pad to your skin. Now, this is where I differ from marketing a little bit in that I don't want to sweat in the suit as little as possible because then I have to wash it more often. I don't like that. It's a pain. So I use a spray bottle. I wet down my body where all the pads are going to be. And I find that gives me great conductivity. And I also don't really have to wash the suit all that often, if ever. It never gets stinky. It never does any of that. When I take off the suit, I leave it inside out, draped over the back of a chair on a hanger. That way it gets completely dry in between each workout. But you can find these spray bottles for like 20 bucks on Amazon, and they just pump up, get pressurized, and then you just spray it on your body. Put warm water in it. It's a lot easier. This is cold, so it'll be fun. But I want to show you how quick it's going to be and what you have to do. It's not that big of a deal. So on these suits, on the direct skin suits, they have this tag attached to a string, and basically you hold at the bottom back here and then just zip it up. It's not that big of a deal. This one's cool. It's just got a magnetic holder down there at the bottom, so it just holds it in place while you work out. So like Visionbody and Katalyst, it's got a power pack that runs the suit. You just put it on the hip, put the Velcro through, and push it down. It does sit lower on the hips than with Visionbody, which I actually really, because then if I wear pants, it doesn't interfere with the actual power pack like it did with Visionbody. The waistband went over top of the pack with Visionbody. So once you attach it, you just power it on until you hear a beep. Pretty simple. So it's got all of the normal pads, all of the important ones. There's 3 sets on the back. There's your chest pads, your abs, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes. And the chest pads sit better than any suit I've used so far. And I think that might be because the torso has a little bit less fabric in it, so it pulls down on the top here, which I like. It really keeps these chest pads pretty good. You see how even when my shoulder comes forward, the pad is still making good contact with my pectoral. So I love that part about it. There's been zero discomfort in the chest, even when I'm extending my arms forward and bringing what would normally bring the pads off of the chest. But I want to add for the back, the 3 sets of pads on the back, the traps, the lats, and then your lower back. That is Visionbody's Ultimate Suit sacrificed 1 set of pads on the back, and I can never get lat activation in their newer suit. Doing pull-ups, doing some of that kind of stuff, I could never quite get my lats to activate. This suit's much better on that. That's one of the most important muscle groups is the back, full back coverage. Whether it's cosmetic to get you that V shape that makes you look like you have a skinnier waist, or the broader look. Also, the fact that, all of your stabilizers and all that stuff in your back, like that's really something you don't really want to sacrifice. The back cover's phenomenal on the suit. There aren't any pads in the shoulder like on the Visionbody Ultimate suit. I have asked them to actually add those for the next iteration of the suit, but what I have found though is that the biceps and the triceps, the signal actually carries through to the other side because this bicep talks to this bicep as far as the signal travel. So it actually hits your shoulders pretty well. I have noticed that workouts between the two suits, just doing my normal shoulder exercises, it actually really does. My shoulders are just as sore. They're sore for 3 or 4 days after I get done working out. So down to using the suit, I find that Titanbody has a smoother impulse than actually Katalyst and Vision Body. Now I thought because the undersuit, the wet undersuit, helped spread out the signal in the Katalyst suit, I thought that's why it had a smoother impulse than Vision Body. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's just the implementation of the frequencies and the pulse widths, which you can fully adjust in this suit, which is awesome. I'm starting to think that might be more of a factor as to how it feels. That's all totally subjective. So your guys' opinion of how the impulse feels might be different than mine. I noticed that I can run the suit higher levels because it's less harsh than both Katalyst and Vision Body, which I really like. Obviously, I run the suit super high, and so that's a big deal to me. That brings me to the part that I'm most excited about with the suit, and that is the ability to basically adjust everything that you'd want to mess with. Oh, by the way, the suit does have an app for Android and for iPhone, so you Android users don't have to now buy an iPhone, has been the issue in the past. So they've got an app that basically is the same across Android and iPhone. So here's what I wanted to show you. It's got all these presets for working out already done. And fitness is the one that I use to do muscle, but I create my own presets, which is up here. I hit this, create your own preset. And this is the one I was just creating just a second ago, but the video got messed up. So we can do test 2. You have to put something in for the description. Here is your frequency. So I can adjust the frequency to dictate which muscles I want to hit, whatever that kind of stuff you want to do. Here's the pulse width. So I'm still using 90 by 350 because I haven't been messing with changing up the frequencies to see if I can get better activation or anything like that. But this is where I also love, I can set this to be 100 seconds of activation, 1 second of rest. And I can do 30 minutes of duration. And then this would be how quickly the suit ramps up after break and then lessens before the break. So I set both of those at 1 second. And the reason I create my own preset is because I want to be able to work out for 30 minutes straight and I want to have it basically on all the time. And then here I can turn on and off in my workout. If I wanted to label one a legs workout, I would, like, for the preset, I would deactivate all of the upper body muscle pads. Or for an upper body workout, I would deactivate the lower body pads so that they don't come on in my workout. But for this, I'm just gonna leave it as all of them because I'm gonna show you how to turn on and off each of the pads. So if we go to test 2, you see how it's got the frequency at 90 Hertz and the pulse width is at 350. All of this stuff looks good. So now I start training. I can turn on and off whether I want to adjust a muscle group. So if I don't want to adjust the traps, I just do that, and then it would not allow me to adjust that. So you can see that these went up by 2 and this one didn't move. So if I want to turn that pad completely off, I long press on it and it's got that no symbol through it, the circle with the line. Long press, turn it back on. And then, so I'm going to say I want to do an upper body workout. I can turn these pads off, which is the lower body pads. And then I can start adjusting all these pads for the upper body. Say I want to get them all to 18. And then I want to just work on my chest while the rest of the pads are at that base level of 18. So I would turn off adjustment on those pads. And now I can just adjust the chest. See how it's just adjusting the chest? That's pretty sweet. I like that I can leave the pads at a certain level. And then also when I'm adjusting the entire thing, it's going to adjust just the pads that I have active. And then I don't have to worry about my legs getting active at all. So I love that. It's obviously super robust with what you can do with it, especially when you start messing with frequencies and pulse widths, which I would dive in and use AI and ask AI, hey, what frequencies I want to hit both my fast twitch and slow twitch, which 90 Hertz is the sweet spot, it seems like, from what I've been able to do. So I've kept it there, and that's their preset for fit. Okay, so this brings me to how I currently work out with EMS, and this is why I love this suit. I will work out legs once a week, and I will work out upper body once a week. For my legs workout, I basically have the suit set to where it will just constantly have my legs, my hamstrings, my quads, and my glutes active the entire time. I will adjust intensity to be strong. And all of this I'm going to go through in more detail in another video, but I will do basically deep squats with a pause at the bottom to failure. And I'll do that for 5 total sets to failure. My leg workouts take me about 7 to 10 minutes under load. So I will squat, say for 3 minutes until I'm like, can barely get up. And then I'll take a break for a minute and then I'll do squats again. And my legs are shot for 4 to 5 days after that leg workout. I will do an upper body workout in the second half of the week. And basically, I just hit the major muscle groups. I put everything as a baseline of 16 to 20, depending on how I'm feeling. And then I will adjust just the chest up and I will go on to push-up stands and I will get as deep as possible, pause there, and then come up. And whether you're doing your push-ups on your knees or you're doing them on your feet, or you take 2 chairs and you put them apart and you're at an incline and you're doing push-ups on those, if you can get as deep as possible, it helps keep the pads against your chest, which is not as much of an issue with this suit. And so it really stretches that muscle out, pause there, and it helps tear the muscle fibers down for rebuild. And I will do that 5 sets to failure. And then I will do either lateral flies or military press with, say, like 10-pound weights. I'll do military press and I will do that, try to do 5 times to failure. And then for back, I'll do bent over rows where you're bringing the weight up, or I'll do assisted pull-ups. Like I got a band, I put it around my feet just so that I can get more reps. And I'll do those kind of to failure 5 times too. I almost never get to 5 sets on each of the upper body, but what the great thing with EMS is, like with your shoulders, I don't have to do rear delts. I don't have to do all of the different exercises to hit all of the portions of the shoulder because all of the fibers are being activated, right? Same with like your chest. I don't have to do dips and then flat bench and an incline bench because my entire pectoral is being fatigued just in those movements with a single exercise push-up. So while Katalyst is great because it gives you and it puts you through a lot of range of motion, for efficiency, everything's getting worked out because everything is at a low baseline. I don't hit my abs that much anymore. I don't do my lower back as much anymore. But just with the bent over rows and the push-ups, I don't necessarily hit my arms separate. You can if you want to get really big arms, but I'm fairly proportional, so I'm happy with where I'm at. And that upper body workout takes me about 20 to 30 minutes under load between those 3 specific exercises that I do. And then you can add in whatever you want extra. But basically you want to have movement. I add in weights or body weight to fatigue the muscle fibers faster so I can have my workouts be shorter. My upper body is sore for 3 to 4 days after my upper body workout, 2 years into doing EMS workouts, 2.5. I've gotten that from Mike Israel, the studies on how many sets you need to really get peak building, the peak breakdown of the muscle and the rebuild of it, and doing it with the EMS studies and showing what recruitment is of the fibers and different things like that. So that's the sweet spot I've found so far. It's great. It's 2 workouts a week that maybe total about an hour between the 2 of them with the breaks and with the time under tension. Titanbody is obviously a brand new company. And so they've gone from idea to market in a fairly short period of time. So they're still rapidly improving. So I would say the app is right now on par, or maybe a little bit better than Visionbody. It doesn't have the weird errors that I had mentioned to Visionbody a couple years back, where if the chest pads are activated, when you come off of break, the suit doesn't ramp up. It just shocks you like all of a sudden real fast at the full level. Like those things are still an issue in the Visionbody app. But Titanbody, every time that I've sent them fixes or tweaks or different things, they're implemented within a week. And I had a viewer who got a suit already and he had a fix that he wanted to see. And so I sent it to Titanbody and they pushed it out this week in the update. So I thought that was pretty awesome. They're improving rapidly. I know that they have an awesome view of where the suit wants to be. So it's only going to get better and they're listening. And I think that they're going to be the new leaders. They're going to be the ones pushing EMS forward just with the ability to adjust all of this stuff. We're going to break new ground in EMS. And I guess that kind of brings me to Katalyst and Visionbody. So for Visionbody, I've had some feedback from viewers who have still not received their suits. The last person who I know that got their suits was an order back in June. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I think if you guys have anything, mention in the comments or shoot me an email. If you've had a more recent experience with Visionbody, let me know. but they're very far out on shipping suits. I don't know what the excuses are, but they're not getting suits to people right now as far as I know. Let me know if that's different than that. So with Katalyst, many of you already know they've been acquired by an investment group, and I could not be more unhappy with this group as it stands right now. And I can say with certainty that this is not the Katalyst that I recommended before. So my advice with Katalyst is the same advice that I gave earlier this year, which is don't buy. And if you have a standing order, ask for a refund if you can get a hold of this new company's customer service, or file a chargeback. Most credit cards have a chargeback window of 90 days. So I would try to get your money back, and I would not buy the suit with this new company as it stands right now. Now, if you already have a Katalyst suit, I still think it's a great suit. Bjorn put out a lot of great content before his time with the company ended. So that content, as far as I know, is still up and running and working. And I have no reason to think that they're going to stop that app for people that already have the suit. What I can say is that I don't believe that Katalyst is going to be moving the EMS space forward in any way. I think that the future of Katalyst is certainly questionable. And I would say that the investors see it as a way to make quick money. And I don't see them as having any sort of passion for the EMS space like Bjorn had, and trying to move the Katalyst product as a whole forward. So I guess end result is I can't recommend Katalyst anymore, which is a bummer. The EMS space being in pretty tough shape from my perspective. I'm super happy that Titanbody launched at this point, because otherwise it's a lesser of all evils type decision until Titanbody came along. So that's awesome. At least there's something still that at least I'm comfortable recommending at this point. It's awesome that Titanbody has launched, and I'm super excited about the suit as it sits now. And I'm just even more pumped about where the suit's going to go in the future, because with their willingness to get feedback. If you get a suit and you want to see things changing with it, and you guys have ideas, shoot me an email, mention it in the comments, and I will give feedback to Titanbody. They are awesome as far as listening to people, and they really want to take the forefront and take the lead in the US market, which is super exciting from my perspective. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.